when everything appointed that it's supposed to be about the derby, the Cup of Kings, the quarterfinals, Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid, we started with some xenophobia today. Unacceptable. Don't miss out on this next show. Welcome, everybody, and here we go on another show of Football con Bamban. And yes, unfortunately, today, the world has woke up to one of the most repugnant or despicable images that we're going to have to see for at least the day of today, and we're hoping to never see ever again. And what we're actually talking about is that in Madrid, you know, difference, it doesn't matter about the difference that we're seeing normally between normal rivalry between one club and another, especially with two clubs from the same city, like Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. We actually have to wake up today and see that they actually decided to take it a step forward. And what did the fans of Atletico Madrid do? Well, they actually came in and found a mannequin, put on a jersey of Vinicius Jr., a player from Real Madrid, from Brazil, and they decided to hang him from a bridge as an image representing that supposedly the idea from these little minor ignorance or whoever decided, you know, as either if it's one or multiple of them. However, one of the things that actually makes it a little bit linked with the club of Atletico Madrid is that one of the banners that we used right on top of the image of this mannequin with the image of Vinicius it's a banner that is commonly seen by the ultras, the ultra fans from Atletico Madrid, which actually the banner says and reads that Madrid hates Real. You know, this is a banner that we commonly see sometimes in the stadium. It doesn't mean anything hateful. It just pretty much just says that, you know, it's how can I say, the banner itself, it's more like, you know, all right, words that we hear consistently as confrontation between teams and everything, you know, like one calling Indian the other one calling Viking the other one, you know, things like that. And they'll come in, they'll turn slurs, they'll sing chants, but it's all fun and games on chants. But the action today, the image that we just woke up to, it's unacceptable. And this is something that has been going on since the beginning of the year. You know, for some reason, Vinicius last year consistently blew up the world, shocked the world. He first was actually the mocking 4 years ago about missing every shot, having so much skill, being able to dribble the ball around the people, but cannot score a goal. Now, last year, he just woke up, 20 plus goals, scores in the final, giving the Champions Leagues to Real Madrid, actually shining, becoming now the megastar of the club of Real Madrid. So what happened? All eyes on him. Now is the attacks are a little bit different. And how do we start? Well, we start with the press. We start with some of the TV shows in Spain and some of the press in Spain consistently talking about, you know, oh, Vinicius is an instigator because now he dances every time he scores. You know, he can't show he's happy about, you know, scoring. Now that's offensive to some people. So it comes out to be, it wasn't offensive until the news and the media was actually given more visual to that and accusing towards that stuff. However, it comes out to be that then they start saying, well, Vinicius only always whining because they're hitting him. Well, guess what? There's some of the hits that he's receiving that can actually terminate his career as a football player. They can really and seriously injure him. So it's natural that every player, once they get hit like that, they will go on and fight. They will argue, not fight physically. They will actually argue or stand in front of the other player and say, calm down. You know, this is natural. Show me any player who got hit like that and just kept walking. Very few can do it. So now this become a problem because now they can't say anything about scoring to Vinicius because he scored more than 20 goals. So what do? Now they start accusing them that he's just a flopper. No, now he's starting to argue with everybody. Now he's fighting against the ref. Now he's dancing against the fan. This is consistently everything they come in and out. They've gone so far that now they go to the coach in some of the press conference and actually tells Ancelotti, are you upset? Are you frustrated that Vinicius is always arguing, that Vinicius is always instigating the crowd to sing chants to him? And sometimes they get out of hand and say, you know, racial slurs or xenophobic images, or people are actually making all these little xenophobia marks like he's a monkey, or they're making noise out of it. You know, it makes no sense. When did it become that somebody who's getting attacked, like Vinicius at this moment, that he's getting consistently, not inside the stadium only, he goes to the street and there's people chanting like monkey slurs to him or monkey sounds. They call him stuff. They consistently, aggressively insulting him. You know, when has this become all right? And when is Vinicius, who's receiving all the attacks, has become right now the aggressor instead of the victim? It just makes no sense. And this is the society that we're starting to see right now. And it's unacceptable, people. It's unacceptable. I hate to make programs like this. This is a channel of football, and this goes beyond football. But at the same time, it's something unacceptable. A lot of people, the people who does this are really much considered to be, you know, closed-minded. The reality is that this has become, from the press, this has gone on, and it was bound to happen that somebody was going to take it to the next level. And of course, it had to be the club, which last game, when they were going to play in Atletico Madrid, we had players come out in the TV shows talking about if Vinicius dares to dance and he scores and he dares to dance, we're not going to respond about how the crowd might jump into the stadium and take matters into the own action. You know, then after that, he had to come out and say, no, that's not, everybody took out of context what I meant. Well, guess what? You just instigated a club or these little short-minded head, because I really I'm holding myself back a little bit about insulting, you know, but these short-brained people, they come in and they would just follow you. They think it's funny, but this is not funny. However, Atletico Madrid as a club obviously had to come out with a statement, brought up an official statement about how they repute and how they do not agree with the actions shown this morning about the image of a mannequin hanging from a bridge. Supposedly, this is not going with the values of the club, but Atletico is going to have to take matters in their hands, and they're part to blame because they support the ultras in their team. They've been tons of meetings where they've been observed, meeting with the ultras, talking with them. And, you know, unfortunately, this is something that the ultras right now, the majority of them, I will say all of the ultras, they're not really lovers of football. I think these are extremists that just want to have violence. They want to do something different than football. Therefore, Madrid and Barcelona took action years ago to not link themselves with ultras and actually ban them from the stadium, which I think Atletico Madrid is going to have to start considering about this right now, because this is getting out of hand. What are we waiting for? To be actually a casualty or something more than that serious? It's not supposed to happen in football. Football is friendship. Football is union. Football is supposed to take you from everything of hate around the world. It's supposed to be a sport of love, and it's supposed to be a sport. Yes, a contact sport. You'll get heat up, but it's always friends. And they were after the end of the game or after an incident happens, there's hugs, there's apologies, because not everybody goes in there with the intention to hurt another player. It's their professional profession, and they like to, and they get paid for these things. And their intentions, no matter what, is not to hurt the opposite. All right. So therefore, here we go. That's the program. Hit me a like, hit me a subscribe. And I do want to let you know, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, Real Madrid just came out with a communication a couple of minutes ago, which actually says that they actually do not stand for xenophobia, racism. They've wanted to send an appreciation for everybody who supported Real Madrid and is trying to defend Vinicius in this case and their players, but they do not tolerate racism, xenophobia for their players, for Vinicius, for any player around the world, or any person around the world who receives this kind of treatment. Therefore, they hope and they trust that the justice system is actually going to do the diligence investigation and find whoever decided to do this little stupidity on the market. Therefore, that's the show pretty much. Today we're going to watch the game. I don't know if it's going to be in a higher note. I don't know how type of, you know, animosity is going to happen today, but, you know, it's fortunate enough that it's going to be played in Madrid. So luckily for Vinicius, we might not hear any chance of racism, but we might see some support on the stadium. Let's see how things respond today in the game. However, this is something unacceptable. I hope you enjoyed the show. Well, I don't know if you enjoyed the show, but this is an information that I have to communicate with you, and something that I don't like because it's outside of sport. But I decided that I had to do this show and bring it back to you. So leave me your comment, leave me your subscribe, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you till next time with Football with Bambam. Ciao.